Good evening and welcome back to Falcon Update live on Ybtv. I'm Paul Callender.
And I'm PJ Rydell.
Messiah University currently sits at 22 ongoing student cases of COVID-19 and 2 ongoing employee cases. Since our last broadcast, there's only been 1 additional student case and 7 student recoveries, bringing the number of current student cases significantly down. Congratulations to these students for beating the virus. As far as employees go, we've seen an increase in 1 case with no recent recoveries. And in order to clarify some information about off-campus quarantining, I reached out to the Engle Center this past week. Carla Gross, the Executive Director of Marketing and Communications, stated that confirmed positive COVID-19 cases remain on campus in Smith Apartments, whereas close contact cases are generally quarantined off-campus. Randomized COVID-19 tests are still a regular occurrence, and no changes are to be expected in terms of visitation in the dormitories. The Dean of Students, Kevin Villegas, has also hinted at a rearrangement of the seating in Larson Student Union in order to better enforce social distancing as well. Messiah University still mandates students to wear a double-layer cloth mask, practice social distancing from others, and avoid unnecessary off-campus travel.
Construction around campus continues to show positive progress around the new green spaces and the Kim S. Phipps Admissions and Welcome Center. Pavement of the main parking lot behind Old Main has been completed, and the new parking spots have been marked with bright new paint. The circular driveway and the sidewalks at the entrance to the building are nearly completed. Inside, work includes the installation of doors, floors, and windowsills, as well as the final paint work and the balancing of the HVAC system. Construction crews have spent much of the last week planting more trees, constructing new garden beds, and delivering mulch to various areas around the center and surrounding green spaces. As always, stay tuned to YBTV for continued updates on the construction as it progresses through the final stages.
Men's soccer player Jonathan Grudhoff is back and ready for action. We go to Brian Schermeyer for more information on his return.
In a year with so many uncertainties, Jonathan Grudhoff, a forward from Messiah's men's soccer team, decided to come back for a 5th year.
Grudhoff missed the entirety of his senior season after undergoing shoulder surgery to repair a broken clavicle. Had it been just for playing soccer, Grudhoff would not have returned. However, his teammates mean a lot more to him than just a group of guys playing soccer.
For me, I've never had an experience where there have been 25, 26 other guys who are so wholeheartedly pursuing the same thing, chasing after Christ, but also looking to push each other.
After a full 4 years spent in the Messiah program, Grudhoff is a leader in the locker room that his teammates look to in multiple ways.
In everything that he does, Johnny seeks excellence, and he knows the core values of our team very well, and he's able to lead us in them and guide us well through them and help us to accomplish the goal of our program.
Grudhoff has taken the coach's mantra of seeking excellence to heart. He believes that this fall was an opportunity to seek excellence over success, which he defined as process over results. This mindset has allowed Grudhoff to think about more than just the game of soccer.
I'm investing into something that I might never see the outcome of, but that I believe I'm helping lay a foundation along with the 26 other guys who are here this fall.
Med school looms in the future for Grudhoff, but he does not want to look back when he's older and regret not taking that extra year with his teammates.
Grudhoff plans to finish his master's degree here at Messiah University and to come back next year for his 6th year. Reporting for YBTV, I'm Brian Schermeyer.
Thanks, Brian. For the past several weeks, the theater department has been rehearsing for their upcoming performances of The Birds, which will be available via live stream from October 29th through November 3rd. The play is a Greek comedy written by the ancient Greek playwright Aristophanes, in which the main character, Pistataris, persuades the birds to build a city in the sky. In preparation for the upcoming showtimes, the cast has been working hard and having fun while embracing the unusual circumstances this year has presented.
We happened to do 2 Greek plays this semester because usually for Greek plays they would wear masks, and that kind of fits what what we have to do right now to be safe. So yeah, auditioned, and it's been a blast being in this show. I never thought I'd be in a Greek play, but I'm really, really enjoying it. It is hilarious.
The most fun part of developing the show is character development. It's a ridiculous show. It's very comical, very farcical. So when you get on stage or I'm in a practice room coming up with things to do, I'm very free. I can just do whatever I want, and it'll probably work with the show, and it's just hilarious.
To view their performances of The Birds, be sure to go to Messiah's live stream portal at the link below.
The dance ensemble hosts their first informal recital at Miller Theater. Students spent several weeks preparing for the debut. The recital consists of 14 dances, including ballet, hip-hop, modern group dances, and solos, and the recital was to make up for lost time due to COVID-19. This was the first time dancers would perform for a live audience this year. 40 students received the tickets to the show, while others were able to watch online.
Well, we are doing a performance, which a lot of places are not doing right now during COVID, and we're doing it in a safe way. So I think the choreographers really did a good job trying to maintain distance and still make it interesting.
I'm just excited to be on stage, honestly, because our last show was canceled due to COVID. I think we're all just excited to be back and moving again and in front of a live audience, which is lately a really special opportunity.
If you'd like to rewatch the recital too, check out the links below.
It is with great sadness that we share the passing of Robert T. Barrett on October 20th, 2020. Barrett began his Messiah career in 1966, serving as the assistant professor of mathematical sciences for 42 years. After retiring from full-time teaching in 2008, Barrett continued to teach classes until 2019. Bob also assisted the Outdoors Club by leading kayak trips through 2018. Bob Barrett has been a staple of a great deal of students' experiences at Messiah, and it is a shame to lose someone who has impacted the Messiah community so much. Please join us in a moment of silence.
My name is Macy Thornton. I'm a senior and I'm a public relations major. I was initially drawn to the public relations major because I've always been great with people and the skills are very transferable. One thing that's definitely unique to Messiah is that they teach from a Christian perspective, and I've been able to use that in internships and those types of opportunities. The professors are great, they're very approachable, and they genuinely want to see you succeed. I'm involved in athletics in that I'm on the Messiah women's basketball team, and it's been one of the most enriching experiences of my life. I'm in a class called Senior PR Campaign, and we're working for an actual nonprofit organization off campus, so we're helping them with some PR-related things, and it's just really great to actually put theory into practice and to feel like you're making a difference even though you're still in school. And I also had the opportunity to do an internship with a minor league baseball team. PR practitioners have to conduct themselves ethically. They have to have integrity. They have to be honest and transparent with the people they work with. So ethics is a big part of public relations. I believe Christian PR practitioners are called to hold themselves to a higher standard because of their beliefs, and that should show in their professional life. I feel very prepared with regard to the experiences I've had, the internship opportunities I've had, and the knowledge I have that the PR major has given me and the skills I've attained through it. What?
The nursing program at Messiah College prepared me in multiple ways. It really just helped me grow in my faith, first of all, but also in my vocation. I have found that adjusting to the work environment has been easier, and I feel that it was very much to do with Messiah College's nursing program.
The simulation labs here at Messiah, the ones that we used as students, are very comparable to the local hospitals.
My first job offer was here during a shadowing experience through the college. I interviewed and I pretty much got the job offer right there.
What I really like about Messiah students is that they look at nursing as a profession and a career, and they tend to do very, very well.
The fact that we are CCNE accredited says that we are engaged in effective educational practices. This means that the student who comes to Messiah College can be assured of receiving the highest quality nursing education, and that their degree will be recognized by top healthcare organizations and graduate programs.
A lot of the relationships that I have with my classmates are very, very special. Nursing can be challenging, and so it's very nice to have friends that know what you're going through. One thing at Messiah College, which is really great, is how the Christian faith is brought into almost every part of your college career. In a lot of the classes, you have sometimes a devotional, or it's integrated into the course curriculum somehow.
The faculty at Messiah cared for me as a learner and as a person. They poured time and energy into me and supported me in my troubles and shared in my successes.
Come visit, set up a time where you can meet up with a professor, sit in on a class. It's a great way to see what Messiah College is all about, and just an overall amazing experience.
Welcome back to Ybtv. My name is JC Seltzer, and here's this week's campus calendar. While there aren't many events happening because of COVID-19, there are still a few important events to keep in mind. Group exercise through the Falcon Fitness Center continues. Starting yesterday and going through November 24th, students can participate in different classes such as spin or strength and stretch. Masks are required for all indoor group classes, but optional for outdoor classes. Sign up is free, but students are encouraged to sign up in advance through IM Leagues. The link and class schedule was sent out in a mass email, or students can go for more details on the Fitness Center website. There are a lot of Election Day events coming up. The first is an election prayer gathering on October 28th from 7 to 8 p.m. in Brubaker, or there is a Zoom option. A separate mass email will be sent with more details. The second event is Worship Night on October 30th from 7 to 8 p.m. at Shoemaker Field. As mentioned before, a separate mass email with more details will be sent out. Are you ready for some laughs? Messiah's Department of Theater and Dance presents the classic Greek comedy The Birds. Performances are from October 29th to the 31st and November 1st to the 3rd at 8 p.m. And one performance is on November 1st at 3 p.m. Performances are free and available for viewing on the Messiah live stream. You can also follow the department on social media for behind-the-scenes information. While chapel is not the same due to COVID-19, Campus Ministries is working hard to ensure that students still have ministry opportunities. On Tuesday is Who Holds You Chapel with Addie Price at 9:30 a.m. Wednesday is a devotional in the book of Mark with student leader Grace Hogue. Thursday is second wave of Zoom Sixers, or you can check out this week's podcast with student ministry leaders. Lastly, Friday is an arts reflection. You can find these events under Campus Ministries in Falcon Link. This week's last film presents Jaws, the classic thriller film directed by Steven Spielberg. The film will be shown in Palmer Cinema this Saturday at 3, 6, and 9 p.m. Seating is limited, so be sure to grab some friends and get there early. The film is free to all students. Join Sage this week for their Connect session called Hypersexualization of Women in Video Games. Sage is an educational program here on campus that hosts bi-weekly sessions pertaining to relational and sexual ethics. This session will be this Tuesday, October 27th from 7 to 8 p.m. The Zoom link was sent out in a mass email, and the password is Connects. That is all for this week's campus calendar. I'm JC Seltzer.
Thank you, JC. If you could name a band, what would it be? We go to Kelsey McCann for this week's Falcon on the Street.
This week's question is, if you were to start a band, what would you call it? If I were to start a band, it'd be called Yellow Crocs. And I'd be the stage manager because I wouldn't want to be in front of anyone.
If I started a band, I would call it Jenny and the Bets, and I would sing.
If I had a band, I would name it Spastic Monkeys. And I would play the drums because I'm spastic monkeys, and because I just always thought the drums were cool because like you're just doing so much and I'm spastic.
If we were gonna be part of a band, it would be K Beats, and I would play the guitar
and I would play the drums.
If I were in a band, well, I sort of am. It's myself. Nolan Hogenboom. Look me up on Spotify or Apple Music or Bandcamp or wherever you get your music.
If I had a band, we would probably be the Biochemists, and I would probably have some really nice clarinet solos in there.
My band would be called Dead Leaves, and I would play the viola.
My band name would be Plexi, because it's the opposite of sea kelp, and I would be the singer. We would play rock music, indie music, Christian music, all kinds of music. It'd be a good time.
That's it for this week's Falcon on the Street. Be sure to check out our social media pages. I'm Kelsey McCann.
Thanks, Kelsey. Up next, we will have Amy Nichols with us, the Assistant Director of Upper Class Experience. Stay tuned.
I'm Lily. I am a junior, and I am a broadcasting and media production major at Messiah College. I chose to be a broadcasting and media production major because as a little girl, I dreamt of being a TV anchor. There are so many opportunities you can have as a broadcasting major. Messiah is really unique in the fact that we have our own TV station, and it's student-led, so each week we have Falcon Update, which is a half hour, and then we have MC Live, which is a half hour as well. My favorite part is just being in the hustle and bustle of everything, and I'm really excited to just be creative when I'm putting together news packages or shooting other stories, just really getting every element of storytelling in my work. So we have a lot of faith-based projects. Right now we're working on one, it's called Faith Sides for multimedia storytelling. In pairs we're interviewing each other for 2 minutes about some aspect of faith. A lot of students from our major either intern at ABC 27 or WGAL. I shadowed one of my professors at a Hershey Bears game. The Bears are a local AHL hockey team, and through that experience I developed connections, and eventually I got a job there. So I run the Crossfire machine and the LEDs on game days. My freshman year at Messiah, when I first came, I knew absolutely nothing about broadcasting or media, and now I feel confident that I can go work at a TV news station.
I grew up creative, always drawing, Legos, played a ton of Legos from the time I could start putting them together. When I got into school, I thought I was going to be a painter, and then I thought I was going to be a graphic designer, but it wasn't until I took my first foundations of art class, 3D design, where I was carving a salt block, just a little carpenter chisel, and I stuck it underneath the water, and it kind of started deteriorating, and I loved it, and it felt comfortable, and it felt right, and that's when I realized that 3D is where I belong. Sculpture is what I needed to pursue. If you feel that passion in your belly, if you wake up and you got to make something, if you grab the paper clip and you manipulate it into some form, or you're doodling in your sketchbook, or everything you do you see through a more creative side, then listen to that spirit talking in you and follow it. And for that young artist, it's hard and it's difficult, but you got to just keep on doing it. You got to just keep on doing it. We were all there. We want to hang out with you. We want you to look over our shoulder and watch us cut this piece. Ask us that question. Don't be scared. Everybody has that starting point.
MC77 is now officially rebranded as Yellow Breeches TV.
Welcome back to Falcon Update. I am joined by Amy Nichols, the Assistant Director of Upper Class Experience. How are you this evening, Amy?
I'm doing well, Tracy. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
So I just said your title, but what is your full job title?
Yeah, so full job title, Assistant Director of Residence Life for the Upper Class Experience, and I'm also the Residence Director of Mountain View Special Interest Housing and one of the Oakwood Hills building. That's new this year.
That is a lot.
Yeah, a lot of different residents, yeah.
So can you explain what you do exactly in those positions?
Yeah, definitely. I provide leadership. So there are 2 assistant directors of Residence Life, and we work under our director of Residence Life, Lindsay Grimm. And so we, of course, have the first year experience and then the upper class experience. And so I provide leadership to the 4, and including me, 5 residence directors of the upper class experience. So there's a little bit of administrative responsibility, providing more leadership to the team, a little bit of vision casting, sitting in important meetings, and then as a residence director, caring for students, responding to their needs, mediating conflicts as they arise, the whole, there's never one similar day at work, so doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah. So you briefly talked about like experience, but how does the experience for first years differ this semester?
Yeah, so for first years or upper class students, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, you can talk about both.
Yeah, well, I think, obviously being on a college campus in the middle of a global pandemic is really life-altering, and I think, at least for me, I've been really impressed with how resilient our students have been in the way that they've handled this COVID crisis. But yeah, I think for first years, we've talked about this a little bit in residence life of how interesting that is, of they didn't really have the typical end to their high school career, and now they're jumping into college where being 6 feet apart, wearing masks, and not really leaving campus is the standard norm. And for our upper class students, I think it's really interesting because they know Messiah pre-pandemic, and now getting adjusted to the pandemic is just, it's hard, it's really difficult, and again, I've been so impressed with just the resilient spirit of students and how willing they are to be here on campus.
Definitely. Back to you, what made you apply for this position, or in better words, what drew you into the position?
Yeah, so I actually started working at Messiah in August of 2015. Okay. So I used to be the residence director of Hess and Kelly for 5 years, and so this summer, a lot of us residence directors all kind of switched across campus. We called it the Great RD Migration. And so I was able to apply for the assistant director position in January and got it in February. So knew that this was going to be the next step. And I think what motivated me was just this extra step of leadership. I really appreciate Messiah and their mission of residence life and how it's structured. And so I wanted to be more involved. I wanted to give more leadership, to learn more, and obviously a good step in the professional journey as well.
Definitely, that's awesome. So what is your favorite part of the job?
Favorite part of the job would be my one-on-ones with RAs. So about 3 to 4 times a month, I have meetings with my resident assistants, and we get to talk about anything from how life is going on their floors, in their communities, to talking about their strengths, to talking about just anything that they're pondering in life. And those are definitely the most energizing parts of my day, and definitely the most meaningful as well.
So what events will be returning next year, since you talked about things are definitely different with COVID?
Yeah.
And what can students look forward to, if you would know? What's happening?
Yeah, I think unfortunately I am not sure exactly. I think that this spring we're going to anticipate a lot of the same things, but definitely we are working strategically to think of what are things that we're very aware that this is affecting students and their mental health, and so actually on a weekly basis we have conversations about what can we do to help motivate students, to give them a little bit of hope. And so that's going to be a lot of what we do in December after you all leave. We'll be strategically planning for what can we do to improve upon the spring semester, and think forwardly about what can we do to make it more like a normal Messiah experience, still within the parameters of COVID-19.
Wonderful. Well, unfortunately that is all the time that we have, but a big thank you for coming on the show, and also a big thank you for what you do for students. We all appreciate it so much. Yet again, another big thank you to Amy Nichols for coming on the show. And for more YBTV content, be sure to check out our YouTube channel or social media pages. For Paul Callender, PJ Rydell, and our other fantastic reporters, I'm JC Seltzer. Have a great night.